Hey, what is going on, you Rattled with Tada? I got a sick combo for you guys in this deck here today. The main attacker is the Alchemy VMAX with a GMAX Whisk attack that does 60 damage for each energy we choose to discard from our Pokemon in play. And the way we accelerate energy in this deck is through the Latios and Latios from Fusion Strike. Now, normally the way you set up the Alchemy VMAX and get it to continuously attack and do big numbers and big damage with the GMAX Whisk is you pair it with Shadow Rider. But we got some new options with Fusion Strike in the Latios and Latios, and what these do is they've got the ability Red Assist on Latios and Blue Assist on Latios that allows them to accelerate a Psychic Energy to the other. So Latios can accelerate a Psychic Energy to Latios and Latios to Latios, but it's not limited to once per turn per ability. So we have 3 Latios and 2 Latios in here, and if we had 3 Latios and 1 Latios on the bench, we could use 3 Latios abilities and accelerate 3 energy to the Latios, and then 1 Latios ability to accelerate to a Latios, and vice versa. We could have 2 Latios, go 2 and 2, whatever. And then we also get to attach for turn, of course. And then on top of all that, we do play a couple scoop up nets so we can reset their abilities. So we could use, if we got, 3 Latios in play and 1 Latios, we use Blue Assist to 1 Latios and then scoop up net the Latios, put it back down, Blue Assist to the Latios again, and then scoop net it again, put it back down, Blue Assist to it, and then we can Red Assist to it after we've used the scoop up nets and reset the Latios, and use Latios with a Red Assist to put energy on the Latios. And then we build up a bunch of energy and play through that continuously throughout the game, not just on a single turn, and then we're able to constantly power the damage for the energy to do the big damage with the GMAX Whisk on the Alchemy VMAX. And sometimes we also use Adornment, especially if we go first on our second turn with the Alchemy VMAX as well, which allows us to put a Psychic Energy from our deck, not our discard pile, onto each of our bench Pokemon. So that's another way we can accelerate energy into play. And that's the combo. The rest of it's pretty standard as far as a deck that you would expect. We got, 4 Research, 4 Marnie, 3 Boss, 3 Training Court because we need a lot of energy, and we also play 14 basic Psychic Energy, and on top of that we also play 2 Energy Retrieval to have a little bit more oomph in our late game or mid game for whenever we need those extra energy or we have the opportunity to utilize them in that way. So the Energy Retrieval are really nice as well. I haven't quite figured out the perfect energy count in this deck, to be honest. The Training Quartz, there's 3 of them has felt good. The retrievals have definitely felt good at times, but sometimes I feel like, you discard them early with a research when there's no energy to be able to utilize through your discard pile. 14 energy has felt pretty good, but I always feel like I wouldn't mind having more. So maybe like 16 basic energy and no retrieval would be the better way to go. Not really sold on it one way or the other. Really hard to find the perfect count, I think, no matter what. And on the other card that we have in here that I'll mention real fast is the Energy Switch. We played 2 of these so that if our opponent gets a really big knockout on our Alchemy VMAX, or if we need to burn all the energy that we have in play, so let's say we have like 6 energy in play and we discard all of them to knock out a big VMAX of our opponents, we can still attack on the next turn and we don't have to default into the Adornment by utilizing Energy Switch. After we accelerate energy into play with the Latios and Latios, we can E-switch one of them off to the Alchemy VMAX and then attach return and get right back into that GMAX Whisk. So that is the list. That is the combo. I want to shout out to Sir Pandage over in the Twitch chat. If you guys check out the live stream, you'll see Sir Pandage in there all the time. For the original list, I made a couple edits. But yeah, I gave it a shot thanks to Pandage's suggestion, and I had a ton of fun with it on the stream the other day. So shout out to Pandage, and then go check out the Twitch stream if you aren't already. First link in the description, twitch.tv/AzulGG. And if you guys want this deck list or any of the deck lists that I post on my YouTube channel, go check out PokemonCard.io, where I post all of the deck lists that I post here in the YouTube videos on the channel over there, so you can quickly export them and then import them into PTGGO, making it easier for you guys to start playing with the decks as soon as possible. Link for PokemonCard.io in the description. Let's get into some games. All right, looks like we lost the coin flip in this one, but actually my opponent chooses for me to go first. That is interesting. So I'm very curious to see what they're playing, actually. Not often do you choose to go second in this format. So let's see what my opponent has got going on here. Ourselves a basic finally. No draw supporter on the hand. We could go for a Crobat this turn. We'll see what we top deck and then decide whether or not we want to. I kind of feel like we maybe should. We do play 2 Crobat, and we're fine with putting both of them in play. We are up against some kind of Weezing deck. All right. Yeah, I think we probably should go for the Crobat here. Grab the bat. Air Balloon. Attach. Training Court. Crobat for 4. Got the VMAX for next turn. Unfortunately for us, Weezing does have 130 HP, so we might just want to go with an Adornment on the following turn, to be honest. I'm going to bench his other Alchemy V, use the trading court. And yeah, Adornment is probably going to be what we go with on the next turn. Pass over to my opponent. Let's see what else they got in store for us. We know they're playing Weezing. I mean, they're playing Mew as well with their Weezing deck. They play Crushing Hammer, which you always hate to see. There's another one. There's their heads. Comes an air balloon, an energy, and yeah, Mysterious Tail, a last of all things. And let's see if they get what they need off it. There's a switch. They don't really need that though. They can already retreat into the Coughing to make it a Weezing. Now the question will be, do I even want to? I don't really feel like I want to. Well, here comes a quick ball. Let's see what else they do this turn. Play the Marnie. Like if they don't play like a draw support or anything here, just go with Ascension. Here comes their own Crobat actually. So they're going with their own Crobat here, drawing themselves some more cards to work with. They probably could have just settled with an Ascension there and passed, to be honest. I don't know what else they're really looking for. I'm curious if they actually play Inteleon. They play Crobat, they play Weezing, or they play Crobat, they play Mew. Sorry, Weezing is their deck. They play Crobat, they play Mew. Yeah, do they even play something like the Inteleon? Or is it Moltres in here? Sableye, maybe? Those are all things that they definitely could play. The question, I guess, is just, of course, do they play it? I'm very curious to find out, to be honest. There's a Galarian Mine to bump my Training Court, but we have another Training Court in the hand. Here comes a Bird Keeper. So some more card draw for my opponent. And then finally that Ascension. But yeah, we have the Training Court, so I'm not too worried about the Galarian Mine or anything. Of course, they probably play a decent amount of Training Court. Yeah, and I think we're just going to pretty much have to settle for an Adornment here. And I am going to play that Marnie. We'll cover the energy afterwards with the Training Court. Got another VMAX. Don't really want to throw that down yet. We could just go ahead and grab another Alchemy V. We're not going to need a ton of energy in this matchup. And I do want like another target to accelerate energy too. Don't want to put the Alchemy VMAX in play yet. Make sure I recover the energy. And then, yeah, go with an Adornment. Load up a couple of these. And yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. I'm super curious to see what else my opponent might have in store for me. This could be pretty tough. Yeah, they could be pretty tough because of... Ooh, they're attaching to the Crobat V, actually. Do they play Crobat VMAX? And is it a hit and run deck where they hit with Crobat VMAX and run to Weezing? Is that what we're up against here? I feel like that's maybe what we've gotten ourselves into. No, just another Crobat. Maybe they have the VMAX in hand. There's a Galarian Mine. Once again, we're not going to run from this poison damage. Or it's going to be that much harder to run from this poison damage. We don't play any switch. We just play 2 air balloons. So we're all about retreating manually to actually move our alchemies around. Just going to go with a severe poison. Okay, we can handle a severe poison. Can definitely handle that. Take 4. Of course, it is annoying. Not going to lie. It is something to annoying that we're going to have to deal with. Don't really want to grab another Alchemy VMAX. Fail that. Do we have a Marnie here? I did Crobat again. Do we ever use something like a Sweet Splash? I don't think so. I could just evolve this to the VMAX now. I could wait. We do need to, like... I feel like we're going to have to Adornment again at some point, to be honest. Let's go with the Marnie. Maybe the Marnie sticks kind of locks him out of the game. Wouldn't mind something like that happening. Yeah, we're going to go with G-Max Whisk here. Discard the 3 off the bench, I think. Max Whisk. We need to get rid of 3. It's so unfortunate it's got that 130 HP. 1, 2, 3. Could leave one of them on the Alchemy to go with one of the active. Because if they hit a Crushing Hammer heads anyways, we can't knock out next turn on a Weezing anyways. So I kind of like this a little bit more. I feel like we're going to go with an Adornment on the next turn anyways. So yeah, I like this a little bit more. All right, we got our first prize card. And we have to work pretty hard for it. A lot of energy in the hand now. We can get a knockout next turn with the G-Max Whisk. Although it'll be pretty much it will be all of our energy in play, leaving play. Okay, there is a Crobat VMAX in here with the Stealth Poison, also the Max Cutter. So this is definitely a battle of the memes going on here, I feel like a little bit. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go with an Adornment next turn. And then keep piecing stuff together, I guess, because I'm not quite sure how we're gonna be able to take down... Oh my gosh, another Crobat VMAX. Comes a Pokegear as well. So Crobat VMAX deck here from my opponent. Comes a Bird Keeper. So I guess they can hit and run to the Weezing. A play they can make. Quick Ball. I don't think we have any other attackers that are going to be too helpful in this matchup. I think we're just looking for Boss. We're going to try an Adornment. Like I would keep saying. Gonna Adornment. Let's see if they actually even get an energy here. They don't have the energy yet. And they've only used a Bird Keeper. It looks like it was enough. They could have had it in the hand before, I guess, and just not played it yet. What's that? Stealth poison. So yeah, we're gonna have to adornment and then look for like boss plus boss to close this one out, I think. And it's very possible my opponent's Weezing gets stuck here. They have to be able to move this as well. It's possible it gets stuck. Another Pokemon to accelerate energy to, and then Marnie. And then yeah, like I'm committed to using adornment here. We could have knocked out the Weezing, but then this would be very close to going down. We don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna go with we could get another Alchemy V if there's one in the deck and load up more energy in play. Don't have the boss in hand yet, but we're pretty close. Ornament 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 left, and we have 1 air balloon left, I believe, as well. This will actually help me be able to potentially move everything off the bench. Like they all have an energy on them now, so it's gonna be a little bit easier to move everything around. But yeah, it's looking okay here. Crushing Hammer is a tails. Love to see that. Yeah, actually, this Alchemy VMAX might survive the turn. It probably will survive the turn, actually. In which case, we'll be able to attack with this for the turn, and then it'll finally go down on the following turn, I believe, because it's taking quite a bit of poison damage. Actually, no, they cannot get out this turn with Max Cutter, but if they go with the Max Cutter play here, we can actually respond with a one-hit KO from an Alchemy VMAX. So this might be a little bit of a risky play for my opponent here if they go with this Max Cutter, but they've loaded up their Crobat, and they actually can't move their active Weezing this turn. The Weezing is just stuck. If they don't find a switch card, I guess they do. We know they do play at least one switch. They play Bird Keepers. They did hit the switch, so here comes that Max Cutter to knock out my Alchemy VMAX. But this does open up the door. No, they just went with the hit and run once again, actually. So instead of the Max Cutter knockout, just hitting and running, which I'm also fine with, to be honest. That seems fine to me. Doesn't bother me at all. Attach to the active, and we're gonna go into their turn. We're gonna take 10. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm debating if I want to hold on to this energy acceleration or this energy in the hand. I don't think I need it. I'm gonna go ahead and research. Got the VMAX. Don't want to evolve yet. I really don't want to evolve yet. I'm gonna go ahead and quick ball, get rid of this Latias, grab nothing. Yeah, don't want to evolve yet. Don't want them to see which one's gonna become my VMAX. VMAX Whisk 1, 2, 3. I think is what I want to go with. Knock out this Weezing. Once again, super annoying to knock out Weezing. Like, discarding 3 energy is such a pain to knock out something like a Weezing. Another energy off the prize cards is great. Okay, still cruising. This turn, they will knock me out with the stealth poison. They can go to the bench. Then we have the boss, though. So what I was talking about, we go like boss to close out the game. And we can still kind of look to do that boss. And then we could just knock out whatever's in the active at that point. So we don't even have to go like boss. Knock out literally whatever's in the active. Here comes another Pierce. So we're not getting Marnie, so the hand is sticky. We'll have the boss. We have 6 energy in play. We're going to get a 7th in play. We do have to discard actually only 5 energy to KO the Crobat here. We only have to discard 5 energy to KO the Crobat, which is a big difference. 5 and 6, that's a pretty big difference. So going to have to keep an extra energy around. Sounds really good to me. Gives that stealth poison. But yeah, boss up this Crobat. Take that knockout. They run once again to the Weezing. All right. Well, here we go. Alchemy V to the active. Got the Alchemy, got the boss. This is basically what it's all coming down to here. Onto a Marnie. It's a nice option to have potentially on the next turn, but it's not a boss. I think we'd prefer to have a boss here. Boss up the Crobat VMAX. Going to throw down this attach active. Use Red Assist here. And then G Max Whisk for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think is what I want to do, and keep 2 on the active. I really like the idea of keeping 2 on the active. Maybe even 3. 5 off the bench. Not the way to go. Do they have to switch? Your opponent's active Pokemon is not poison. Switch. They have to switch it. All right, 5. I'm gonna make sure I'm doing the math right. Yeah, 5 should do it. They're not resistant to. All right. Okay, let's do this because they do play Crushing Hammers and they still have like 2. Yeah, 2, 3, 1. 2, 3. No, 1 Crushing Hammer left. But if I had left 2 energy on the active and the Crushing Hammer heads that, I'm a little bit further from being able to win the game potentially. So I think I like the idea of leaving that extra energy on the active. Because they leave 2 there and the Crushing Hammer 1. And then, I mean, I got the training card off the prize cards, but if I didn't get the training card off the prize cards, then I wouldn't quite be able to attack with the Alchemy VMAX quite yet. So I think I like the idea of playing a little bit slower, actually, first, like this. And then we'll go from here. But my opponent, they got to do something weird here because, oh, okay. Well, they got the Stealth Poison. They do play Sableye. We got one prize card left, so they have to be able to run this Crobat into something that wouldn't get KO'd. There's a Yell Grunt, so that's annoying. It's gonna be enough though. They're going with Stealth Poison though. So this, I don't know if they realize they have to switch. They're switching. That's our last prize card though. Yeah, I don't know if they realize they have to switch with Stealth Poison. That's what I checked on the last turn because I was curious because a lot of times it says you may switch if you want. This one is Stealth Poison. You have to switch, and we're going to take advantage of that because my opponent attacked with it, and we get our last prize card. Win the coin flipped again, so we will go first. And pretty good start here. Double Alchemy V. We got the quick ball. We can get one of the Latios or Latios. Probably go with the Latios because we do play one extra Latios than Latios. But we'll see what's prized. See what we got going on in the deck. I don't really want to put the training court in play quite yet, so I might quick ball away a research. We'll see what our top deck is as well. Yeah, I want to avoid... Yeah, we'll definitely get rid of an energy here. But I don't want to put the training court in play yet because my opponent might just like counter stadium it immediately. Even though there's an energy in the discard pile, yeah, I don't want to use the training court quite yet. Just attach it active and pass over to my opponent. And we could go with a turn 2 adornment, or we could start swinging as soon as turn 2. Depends on what we draw and what my opponent does. And also we could get Marnied as well, which means I really didn't want to discard. That's why I really didn't want to discard a research, because if we're just going to get Marnied, then all the research are going back to the deck. Oh, it looks like we're up against Suicune, which, to be honest, sounds like a pretty tough matchup. I don't want to say auto loss, but that sounds like a tough one for sure. I don't even know how we're going to tackle this, because that sounds really, really tough. We do need to have a decent amount of Pokemon on our bench, not too many. We probably want to start swinging as soon as this turn as well. But yeah, we do need a decent amount of Pokemon on our bench. Ideally, we get down to just like one Latios, so we don't fill our bench too much. But yeah, it might be pretty good. They are setting up the Suicune already off the rip, though. So if we can get the KO on this on the next turn, we might be in a pretty good spot then. But that might be a little bit of a lot to ask for. We'll see if we can pull that off. But if we can pull that off, I think we're going to be in a pretty decent spot. And we'll see what else they got in the hand. There's nothing. So if we get this knockout on the Suicune, I'm feeling pretty good. Got the Alchemy VMAX off the top. That's a great start. Training court research. We're looking for a couple energy and a Latios. A couple energy. No Latios, though. Unfortunate. So it looks like we have to go with that adornment this turn instead. Going to go ahead and use the training court. Want to use it every turn if possible. Man, that is so sad. I was feeling really hyped. We got the energy. We were just the Latios short. There's a lot of outs in the deck right now. Quick balls, Latios, a decent amount of outs. All right. Adornment for 2. We could evolve this benched V. I don't really see why not. So let's go ahead and go with that. Evolve the benched V. And then, yeah, adornment for some energy. Oh. Energy. Okay. Yeah, there they are. They're the quick balls. That is so unfortunate. We are so close to that early knockout. All right. Celebrate some energy into play. We're still in the game, not out of this game by any means. Actually, I kind of feel like I wanted to leave this energy in the discard pile the more I think about it, because they can't bump the stadium. The only thing would be like if we wanted a quick ball next turn, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. All right, my opponent draws again. Let's see if they're even able to actually put anything together this turn. They did have a really slow last turn and no draw supporter, but there's a Drizzle. But they do need to Melanie to be able to attack this turn, because they didn't even attach last turn. So they have to have like a Melanie and then get a quick ball off this Drizzle potentially. That would work. We know they have the water energy in the hand. They're just going with a level ball here, though, instead. Chaining Drizzles really aggressively here. And I assume that this would be followed up. I mean, I guess they could still get a quick ball here, and they could have Melanie water in hand. That is still possible, I guess. Here comes the second Shady Dealings. It is the quick ball. So this does make me think that that's what they have going on here. And I'm sure it's going to go ahead and grab them another Sobble here. Or that's what I would imagine. They're going to go ahead and grab off this quick ball. We'll wait and see. Going with another Lotad, though, actually, instead. Maybe a couple Sobble surprise, but there's that Melanie I was talking about. So they will have double Lotad in play, but they are down one Ludicolo. They can still pull off double Ludicolo plays later on in the game. It would be pretty hard to pull off, though. Here's that Blizzard. Rondo 160. I really don't want to Marnie my opponent because they haven't done a whole ton. And now with this top deck, I don't think I will. I'm going to go ahead and just get ourselves the Latios and accelerate a bunch of energy into play. Use the training court as well. And we have the E-Switch in hand as well, which means we can discard the energy off the active pretty safely. And then G-Max Whisk for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And take the knockout. Yeah, we can discard the energy off the active pretty safely here, because even if they whiff the knockout, we can E-Switch back to the active, and then the Alchemy VMAX will be able to attack again. get ourselves a couple prize cards. Energy is really all we need at this point. A boss is also pretty good, though, just in case we want to go chase something off my opponent's bench. We probably don't want to do that, at least anytime soon. But yeah, I didn't really want to Marnie my opponent. They're basically, yeah, and that with no Sobbles in play, maybe that was a reason to Marnie my opponent. But we definitely knew their hand was just like 3 random cards. Not a whole bunch to work with. So yeah, I didn't really feel like giving my opponent new cards because they were like living on the edge there a little bit for sure. Here comes another Melanie though, so they'll definitely be able to attack this turn because the Training Court is in play. So even if they whiff an energy here, they can still Training Court for the water energy in the discard pile. And on this next turn, we'll go ahead and play the Marnie for sure at this point. Here comes an Evolution Incense. I'm sure to go ahead and grab one of those quick shooting Intellions. I guess they could go for the Shady Dealings, but quick shooting seems to make a little bit more sense. No, they're going with the Shady Dealings. I like to see that. I don't want to see 2 quick shootings coming down and start to pressure my next Alchemy out. My next Alchemy to be living as long as it possibly can. So here comes the Inteleon then with the Shady Dealings instead. And they'll, I mean, I have to imagine they're going to try to set up a quick shooting here. I wonder if they forgot about the Training Court and are going to go get their second bucket to go get their water energy for turn. Yeah, I wonder if they forgot about the Training Court. Nope, just a Cape and a Scoop Up Net. The Cape is actually, it's not that annoying, but it is a little bit annoying because it does mean we will need to discard an extra energy to actually knock out the Suicune, which that's pretty annoying, to be honest. That is a little bit annoying. Nothing we can really do about it. Kind of just have to discard the extra energy. But I love the fact that we haven't seen a quick shooting Inteleon come down yet this turn, and I would love it to stay that way. No extra damage on my benched Alchemy VMAX would be great. It means we can maybe extend our bench a little bit more on this next turn as well. They're doing 120. Let's see, yeah, 120, 140, 160, 180 damage right now. 280. Well, we'll have one less bench Pokemon in play. 280 if they do get the Candy Ludicolo. Let's see, 160, 180, 280. So there'll be 2 quick shooting short, but they only have access to 1 quick shooting through a Drizzile. They could rare Candy out this Sobble into a quick shooting as well. But when I throw the Marnie at them and then knock out their active, I think it's going to be a little bit harder for them to make something like that happen. So I'm not too worried about them hitting that big of a play at all. I don't think it's gonna be able to happen. So we should be able to maybe bench like 1 Pokemon on this next turn. Probably benching a Crobat, maybe even. So we can like Crobat to Crobat. Just try to see as many cards as possible this turn. Accelerate as many energy into play through the Latios, and also attaching for turn. Try and get that going. Yeah, here comes that Blizzard Rondo. No quick shooting coming down at all. But I am a little bit scared of the double Ludicolo play that could be coming around the corner on the next turn. Of course, once we Marnie them, get rid of this big hand, and force them into 4 random cards, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to pull that off. I'm going to go ahead and attach active here, and then go ahead and play the Marnie, and let's see what we get. We do need this card, once again, 5 energy to KO this Suicune, which doesn't feel great. Okay. Can accelerate a decent amount of energy into play here. I don't love the draw. 3 boss left in the deck, which we really want to be able to chase this Suicune. But we can go, Red Assist. I can Scoop Up Net. Latios, throw it down. Red Assist again. And then Blue Assist as well. Back over there. And decent amount of energy in play. I could bench this Alchemy V so we could run to it on the next turn. Potentially. I don't have anything else to work with anyways. I am debating benching this. We'll see. 120, 180, 280. I mean, if they max out and hit us and then set up a quick shooting, we would lose anyways. But they might not be able to go for that play. And they might have to just go for like a 2 KO so we could run it away. New VMAX hit knockout. So benching this is pretty tempting. Benching this Alchemy V is pretty tempting. And I think I am going to go for it here. And then Gmax Whisk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see if I get punished for this Alchemy V bench or not. We got the knockout. We still have a decent amount of energy in play. Just these 2 is quite a bit because we only need, 3 more energy in play to get a knockout on a Suicune. So that's like a retrieval and energy or something like that. And there's a Latios and an Evolution Incense. That's not quite going to cut it here on this next turn. We're going to need quite a bit more than that to close out this game. So we're going to need a really good top deck here. We do have a decent amount of top decks left. We've got 2 Quick Ball, a couple Crobats, stuff like that. 2 Research, 3 Marnie. We have a decent amount of top deck outs left, to be honest. 2 Crobat, yeah, 2 Crobat, 2 Quick Ball, 2 Research, 3 Marnie. They got the second Cape, but they also need to be able to attack this turn to really put the pressure on me. There's the Sobble. Energy Retrieval at this point also would be enough to get the knockout here if they just hit us for turn and they don't get the KO. But like I said, it is possible for them to get the KO here. So I'm very curious to see if they're going to be able to pull it off. on this turn. See if they're gonna be the double Ludicolo play. It doesn't come up too often where you need it. Usually one Ludicolo is enough because you built up some quick shootings at that point, or your opponent's bench is a little bit fuller than what mine is at right now, and you're able to just close out the game with like a candy Ludicolo. But sometimes sometimes you need a little bit more. Here comes the Drizzile. Let's see what they grab here. I would assume a Melanie. Oh, for the Evolution Incense. Let's see what that's going to grab my opponent. This should grab them the Inteleon then, I would imagine. Shady Dealings Inteleon is what I would guess that they're going to grab off of this. Yep, Shady Dealings Inteleon. So this is going to get them... Oh, man, they might have it. Well, with only 3 cards in hand, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe they don't have it. Now they're finally going with the Fleet-Footed. Probably should have opened up with the Fleet-Footed. I guess Level Ball for the Drizzile was probably correct because you don't really want to Fleet-Footed into a Level Ball or Fleet-Footed into a Drizzile when you have the Level Ball for the Drizzile when there's only one Drizzile to be put in play. So Level Ball for Drizzile probably should have gone Fleet-Footed after that. Let's see. They're taking their time now. I'm sure they have a Melanie or the Raihan left in the deck. It's just, will they be able to one-hit KO my active is the question. And I'm sure they have one or the other of those. The Raihan or the Melanie. So attacking is not a problem for my opponent, I don't think. It's just, can they actually get the knockout? It would be the big question right now. They've really slowed down now, so they're really thinking through their turn at this point. The Fleet-Footed must have thrown them off a little bit here as to what they actually want to do. They're about to get timed out here. They better make a play soon. I have no idea what their hand is. Okay, there goes the Inteleon. Do they have the cards to be able to win? I mean, like, yeah, if they have the double Ludicolo, we can't stop them. Let's see if they can pull it together. That Melanie, I feel like they won't have it with a Raihan. Just getting one of anything out of the deck, plus the water energy out of the discard pile. I feel like that's not going to cut it. So I feel like it is possible off the Melanie, but I feel like the Melanie drop would have to be pretty good to be able to pull together Ludicolo, Scoop Up Net, Rare Candy Ludicolo. But at this point, they are getting there. And they will be able to get one of the pieces off of Shady Dealings as well. No, they're going with the Raihan. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable now. I feel like, yeah, I feel like we are in a pretty good spot overall. Then I don't think we're getting KO'd this turn, but it's, will we be able to actually even get a response KO on this next turn? Yeah, it's going to be the Raihan. But yeah, the Raihan, I think that one random card isn't going to be enough here. I'm not really too scared of that one card. So I think we're in a pretty good spot here. We'll see what my opponent does. The Level Ball can't do anything for them, actually. There's the Ludicolo, actually. So they have the Ludicolo. And there's the Enthusiastic Dance. So they are hitting me really hard. They are hitting my Alchemy VMAX very hard. And the Blizzard Rondo. Maybe that's what they're fine with. Just 280. Quick Shooting's not a threat. Do I get a top deck? No, no top deck. Got the Training Court, but they should be able to pretty easily boss knock me out on the next turn because I can't knock out their Suicune. I can do this. I can do this. But it's not going to quite be enough here. We're going to come up a little bit short. That is so sad here at the end. I'll grab the Alchemy VMAX. I'll evolve it. I'll even retreat to the Latias here. I mean, I wish we had like could have dormant for this turn at the very least. Retreat to the Latias. And pass so close here at the end. We just need to top deck some kind of draw supporter. And the Training Court gave us 1 energy, so we really just need 2 more energy out of the deck. Whether that be from a retrieval, just drawing to psychic energy. We had a decent amount of outs to get there. I guess the one last hope here is my opponent could potentially have prized their 2 bosses orders. Usually this Suicune deck plays 2 boss, so they could be prized. So they only have 3. They do have 3 prize cards left, which is more than 2. So I guess even if they played 3 boss, which you don't really see too commonly in the Suicune deck, they could have prized all 3 of them, but no, there's the boss authors out. So we will be losing this one. It was super close. That Marnie at the end there did kind of do us in, unfortunately. We were really close at the end here to almost being able to take this one away from our opponent. I was really scared of the double Ludicolo play last turn. It didn't happen, and our top deck didn't quite cut it. But that's going to do it for the games with the Alchemy VMAX deck. I hope you guys enjoyed them. It's a ton of fun. The Latios and Latios combo is super fun. I think this might be the best deck to combo it with as well. Works so well with the Alchemy VMAX. I don't think there's really anything else out there that works quite as well as this does. So definitely recommend you guys giving this a shot, especially if you're fans of Latios and Latios.